Two senior cops, veterans from their fraternity with us live. Yashovardhan Azad, I'd like to start it off with you, sir. Why does, are we wrong in feeling that nothing seems to be adding up in everything that we've heard so far in this case, from the circumstances under which the people, the persons, whose pictures we have gained access to, how they left, the presence of CCTV cameras roaming around in Bandra, etc. You've heard the whole thing and I've seen you. Are we wrong in having this feeling, sir, that nothing adds up?
Well, Shiv, let me tell you that there are definitely inconsistencies. And some of the things which we see on ground, really, really surprise us. But, unfortunately, these are the realities of life. Some of the most high-profile buildings are very poorly secured. And three things I can tell you straight off. That in Bombay, where, we had criminals who were, and of the gangs well-oiled in their bodies who could go up into high buildings, in such buildings to keep a window without grill is something shocking. It's very surprising. That's number one. Number two, the lack of sufficient number of CCTVs is also shocking on the floor of Saif. In fact, Shiv, in an ordinary building in Noida, as you already said, it's much more secure and equipped with CCTV than we see in Bombay. The third thing, most of the security guards in Bombay, they are working during the daytime and they merely come to work to sleep at the place. Plus, they were hired from housekeeping agencies, not from a security guard agency. So some of these things are absolutely, beyond the realm of even ordinary thinking. But, 4 or 5 things in the investigation, they are very important. Now, you can't deny that the fingerprints were found over there. The sanctity of the fingerprints or the DNA of the hair taken from the cab, then the identification by the house staff when he in an identification parade, plus the recovery of the third part of the knife, this will clearly establish whether this guy is the original one or not. Yeah. So in that respect, I'm saying that these 4 areas of investigation, if pursued correctly, will lead us to the right guy. Now, the third part is important, as you said. There are implications that a guy, after doing it, hangs around near the park. So did anyone ring the flying squad? Did anyone call for the 100? What was the response there in that particular time? So these are some things which the Mumbai police will definitely, actually look into. But overall, if you look at it, it's shocking, yes, that a man goes up and comes back in 1.5 hours and nobody sees him, nothing happens. But this is the grim reality in many of the places. And why they are secure, Shiv, is because nothing has happened. Yeah. So that's exactly is the present status now. I do hope that Mumbai police looks into these anomalies and establishes a kind of a link up with the various, resident welfare societies, etc.
Yes.
etc. And also has a kind of a link up with these celebrity homes, advises them. कि भाई ये grill will तो बड़ी basic चीज है. What about the private security guard? Shouldn't he be there at that time? Yeah. Should driver be there all night in such places? So yes, they sound very implausible, but this is the reality.
Okay, so implausible, but that is the grim reality, says Yashovardhan Azad. There may be some inconsistencies and anomalies, but the fact that, CCTV didn't exist or the security guards were asleep, not so unrealistic. This is the grim reality of even some of the most protected parts of celebrity Mumbai, says Yashovardhan Azad. PK Jain, Many things have been said, by way of speculation. Some people are saying that, there is a cover-up and that's why there are inconsistencies in the story. The guy descending the staircase doesn't look like the man who was finally arrested. But as Yashovardhan Azad said, now there's fingerprint evidence, etc., that establishes at least some things that we can think of. How do you see this? What do you think are the anomalies or lack thereof in this story, sir?
Hi, good evening, Shiv. Thank you very much for inviting me here.
Thank you for coming, sir.
Well, I have been maintaining right from the beginning that there are certain gaps in the entire story. The FIR that was lost, there were certain gaps in that also. The things seemed very hunky-dory in the sense that it was only the maid and Saif Ali Khan who were handling the alleged culprit, but nobody else came to their rescue. And then subsequently, his being locked in a room, his slipping away from that room, there are many things which do not add up. But as Yashovardhan has very correctly said, the police has taken somebody into custody and accused into custody. Certain evidence which is verifiable is being collected or has been collected in terms of fingerprints and DNA printing, etc. So that may probably establish the fact that whether it was the same accused or he was not the same accused, because fingerprinting and everything will take a little time before the results come up.
Yeah.
But despite all what the police has done, in such cases, generally, the thief would like to get away from the scene of crime as quickly as possible, and especially after having such an incident at home where he had to stab the homeowner 6 times.
Correct.
I'm yet to see a case where the thief would lurk around the same place for such a long time.
Yeah.
And then, there are many other things which to my mind don't add up. But see, the investigating officer is the best person to comment and what evidence he has in his possession. So he has whatever he has. And the change of guard at this stage, change of the investigating officer, unless there's a major faux pas somewhere, the investigating officer is generally not changed.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask you about that because, I didn't want to cast aspersions on what may be an administrative matter. But is it normal for an IO to be changed like this right in the middle of an investigation?
No, it is not normal at all, unless, as I said, there is some faux pas, unless he has committed a mistake somewhere, unless something has happened. Generally, as I said, in 99% reckoning, unless the officer is transferred out of the police station. If there's a transfer, he's going out on promotion, etc., then yes. But if he continues in the same police station, then it is very rare that the investigation is taken away from one officer and given to another. And after such a stellar detection, I would say the police has done a wonderful job. If the accused is correct, the police has done a wonderful job in connecting the dots and arresting him from Thane. But unless there's some, I don't know. As I said, there are certain gaps in the entire story. It will take time before
the gap, because of these gaps, small or big, and I appreciate the clarification on some of those gaps being down to the grim reality of daily life. But it is the fact that these gaps continue to be there, that all kinds of conspiracy theories are being built. Now, conspiracy theories by themselves aren't a concern for the police, but there is an increasing sense that, things have been coming out in phases. First there was, minor injuries, then it became six different injuries, then it became the blade, then it became, only one maid in the house, then it suddenly became 7 different domestic helps in the house. Information of this kind has been coming out piecemeal. By itself, Mr. Azad, that's not a surprising thing. Sometimes, when cases like this are developing, information comes out in tranches. But would you like to also comment on, the change of the IO? Does that look suspicious to you at all?
Well, I can tell you, in my personal case, I was DIG Bhopal in a double murder, high-profile case. I felt that a particular inspector was absolutely outstanding. He was in the same police station, and we handed over the investigation to him for a speedy and effective way. So I would say that there could have been some mistake. But probably it has been given to the best guy because there are a lot of things to be done, as Mr. Jain also said, that it will take time, the fingerprint, etc., etc. And let me tell you that I can think of many other glaring things. Why did Karina not go with him, three-wheeler? Why did that Taimur go? I mean, that was not necessary. Why didn't responsible? And now, for example, the other thing I'll tell you, see, the four fellows who hid inside the room, the male staff, and
Yeah.
it's something really shocking. But if you see on the roads, a guy bullying and butchering his lover on the street, and there are people standing around taking mobiles, photographs, but no one even interfering. This is India for you. This is a very sad part. Then again, so many things are happening. Nobody rings up the control room. Nobody rings up the flying squad. And the police has also not told us what exactly happened. That did they immediately rush to the spot? Did they scour around the area? Did they throw these layers of teams than only for investigation? So there are many inconsistencies like this.
Yeah.
But material part, thank God, there were four things which are very important. One, an excellent investigator. Second, an excellent interrogator, that what happened in that building, why they didn't see this guy. The third, a forensics guy for picking up the right evidence. And fourth, the guy who's using the AI tool, because you have to make that face out, ferreting it out from various places. And that's why I say in those two areas, good work has been done.